Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Uh, hey, we hope you're having a great day. It's Sunday, about noon here, and we're just trying to get a few things taken care of before our afternoon chores. Hey, first off, thanks for watching our Philippine journey, Mike and Arlen. We're simple, very straightforward people, and we appreciate you watching, and we appreciate those of you that subscribe and hitting that thumbs up button. So it's been a kind of impressive, and I'm not sure if I should say, is it the last 2 weeks have left quite an impression here in the Philippines on foreigners. And so we'll start with the good, then the bad, and then the ugly. Or let's start with the ugly first and get that out of the way so that if you guys want to skip it, that's quite all right. The ugly is what recently happened in Dumaguete. So in Dumaguete, if you haven't seen it, a foreigner and another foreigner get into an argument, and at some point they leave, and one foreigner gets together with three of his other foreigner buddies, and they go over to the first foreigner's home, when all of a sudden the fourth foreigner of the four buddies says, "Oh, this is not for me," and leaves, leaving three foreigners. And the three foreigners, not all Americans, they somehow get into this guy's house and attack him. Well, that's three foreigners beating up a fourth foreigner. The only problem is this guy is a ex United States Marine, which I'm not sure makes him any better or any worse than anybody else, but it certainly made him fortunate enough that these guys were not, and he pretty much kicked their ass. In fact, if you go online, look it up, you'll see the mug shots, and I mean, he pretty much beat the living shit out of one guy. And supposedly, I don't know if it's true, but supposedly, those three guys have actually been charged with attempted murder because at the crime scene, there also was a gun and several pairs of brass knuckles. So thank you, foreigners, for fucking up other foreigners. That's really appreciated. You know, it's just a great example you set for those of us that are trying to live decent lives. So that's the worst case, but the not so worst case might soon become the worst case. And the reason I say that is because I'm going to tell you about it, but you need to recognize that the whole entire story is not in yet. So, apparently, a German vlogger, and I'm not going to include links to any of these people, only because it's not my drama to get involved in. All right. But this German blogger, younger guy, Mr. Pogi German, you can look him up. I'm just not going to give you the link. He has a Jawa challenge that a girl agrees to, and later he gets charged with having sex with a minor. Okay, to me, that's worse than one foreigner beating up other foreigners, except he's only been charged. He hasn't been found guilty yet. And there's more to meets the eye here. It doesn't quite make sense completely. First off, there are two things that stand out in my mind about this. Now, this particular guy's YouTube that he posted a YouTube that said he met a 18-year-old girl for X, I don't know, 3,000 pesos or something like that. All right. So his YouTube has a thumbnail and everything else. When he's talking to this girl that he picks up, and I say that very suspiciously, that he picks up on the street, she's wearing a Rode wireless microphone, fully visible. I mean, it's not like secret or anything like this. This girl knows this is a scripted video. Okay? They check into a Sogo hotel. I mean, she tells him point blank, oh, it's 3,000 pesos all in for 3 hours. Enough said about that. They check into a Sogo hotel. They film parts of it. And I don't know what they filmed, but I can tell you that on the original video, before YouTube took it down, it's no longer available. There was no nudity that I saw. But anyways, that's beside the point. The point here is there are three things that happen. The first one is she quoted him a price for whatever he wanted for an amount of time. She's wearing a Rode wireless microphone. Okay? This is a scripted thing. And then finally, they checked into a Sogo hotel. Now, and you may not be aware of this, but in the Philippines, for an adult to be privately in the company of a minor is against the law. And hotels have very strict rules about this. Sogo is a very big chain. Now, I'm not saying that rules don't get skirted wherever they go, but supposedly every hotel is supposed to have a photocopy of the ID that these people check in with. Something just doesn't ring right. But to make a long story short, shortly thereafter, he gets arrested by the police after the mayor and governor get involved, whatever, within a day or so, okay, for having sex with a minor. And then there's a video of him being handcuffed in the jail, or wherever, and the mother supposedly walks up and slaps him and everything else. Now that's not a YouTube video, that's in the news. All right. Just seems something's off there. And let me go back and say, I really don't care what's off. I don't care if she knew what was going on. I don't care if it was scripted. And I don't care if there's anything predetermined by it. If she's a minor, I do care. The morality of that is what bothers me significantly. Okay? So finally, and again, I'd like to know your thoughts about it. I mean, I've waited to put this video out because I wanted more information on all of these items. But I haven't found any forthcoming information, so I can't say so. Time out. Sorry, Arlene just got home and I'm getting my marching orders for the afternoon events that I have to get ready for. So anyways, yes, I don't have an issue with it being, what should I say? It's not that I don't have an issue. I don't have a sense of the fact that I've gotten the full understanding. So, another foreigner screwing up everything for the rest of the foreigners. Okay? And he's doing that in, for God only knows what reasons. Is it doing it to get more views, to make money? Is he doing it to get more members? Who knows? And I don't think we'll ever know, other than the fact that will he get actually found guilty of the three? He's been charged with three different things. Will he ever get? How public will that information become is yet to be seen. Finally, this is the next one. As I said, it's been, for the news, for foreigners, it hasn't been a pretty 2 weeks. You know, it really and truly has not, because foreigners are, quite frankly, screwing crap up for everybody. Either, with or without. So the next one, though, was in the news. It was in the Yahoo Philippine news about an internet blogger that has gotten the anger of the internet community. And this one is also very simple, but I have some backstory to that that's not out there yet, but I'm going to share it with you right now. So it's been just great trying to figure some of this stuff out. All right. Some of you may or may not be aware of a certain individual. He goes by the YouTube name Expat Kings. Now, I'm not going to provide a link to him because I feel certain he's under investigation, or at least being watched. And I really don't want to link to somebody that's being watched, because he's doing, I guess, what I would call not just misrepresentation, but perhaps it's liable, and perhaps it's, well, I'll let you decide for yourself. But then I'm going to tell you what some of his background is, because I spent the other day several hours researching him and his background. So here we go. Here's what's really interesting. This guy posts thumbnails about where to pick up freelancers, along with YouTubes on how to girl-proof your room. This whole article in the Yahoo PH News goes through all of it, but it really focuses on where to pick up girls, how to pick up girls, and maybe, although quite frankly, he's given out some serious disinformation on age limitations at one time. Now, he changed it after many people complained to him that he was totally incorrect. But had you followed his advice, and that video's still up, had you followed his advice, you'd be in a shitload of trouble. But what mainly pissed off people so far is the fact that he's filming minors who are obviously minors, and he's referencing freelancers and young girls and how to pick them up. And this has brought attention to everything that goes along with it. Now, here's the problem that ensues. He's admitted, because people have contacted and said, hey, you know what? You need to quit doing this crap. All right? Stick to adults, at least. And not every girl that walks down the street is a freelancer. It just so happens he targets a street area that is the most direct path to some of the most affordable housing and a few major school systems, and that's where girls go. Well, if you've been here to Angeles, you'll have to understand that walking street during the day is not walking street at night. Walking street during the day is the safest, most practical, and shortest route between the main boulevard of MacArthur and the main Jeepney terminal anywhere. So a vast majority of the girls walking up and down Walking Street during the day and afternoon are school kids and people transiting. And keep in mind, school here can go from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. There are 2 shifts of school. All right? Those kids go home all the time, and many of them walk. Number 2, Fields Ave. Fields Ave is loaded with salons, boutiques, but salons. And those salons are very reasonably priced because there's a large female population, young female population, that likes to look good. My wife goes to a salon on Fields Avenue. My friend's wife goes to a salon on Fields Avenue. Friends of mine have wives that have gone to salons on Fields Avenue, and on their way home, they're worried they're going to get filmed and called a freelancer, because that's what this guy does. He implies that every one of these girls is available. And that's just not true. Apparently, his background just doesn't include it. And I don't understand that, because when I researched him, the kid is an actual graduate from Dartmouth, an Ivy League school. That ain't cheap. And, we can argue as to the liberal or conservative side of Dartmouth all we want. It is still a reasonably good education. In addition to that, he also attended Georgetown Day School, which is a high school that is almost as expensive as Dartmouth. So to say he was born with a silver spoon shoved halfway up his ass, apparently, is an understatement. To say that his parents or somebody in his family didn't try to give him a good education is an understatement. But again, another foreigner screwing crap up for everybody. I mean, girls are walking down the street now, avoiding streets, going out of their way, sometimes wandering into or being circumvented to go into areas that are less safe, just to make sure that they don't run into this guy. Now, I'm not going to link to him. He's got a website. I'm not going to link to that, because I have no doubt. Let me rephrase that. I find it highly probable that PNP or NBI or another agency is keeping their eye out for him. No doubt about it. So thank you for another foreigner for ruining what's out there. It's one thing to sit in a restaurant, see a cute girl walking down the street, take a little video to show the world how beautiful they are. It's another thing to walk one way, see 3 girls do a 180 and walk behind them, focusing on their rear end and talking about how this is a great area to pick up freelancers. You're implying something. But I don't mind saying it, because he's been confronted with this, and he has said repeatedly he's going to, he has no problem what he's doing, and all PR is good PR. Well, there you go. I gave you a little bit of PR. So thank you for another idiot. Thank you for another foreigner screwing stuff up. Sure, Angeles is full of sexpats. All right? I don't know what your definition of a sexpat is, but the U.S. is full of sexpats too. They just aren't pats yet. All right? Why do you think we have cities with 100 topless bars and 50 nude bars and prostitution is rampant. I mean, they had to shut down. Remember Craigslist and everybody else that was advertising prostitution in the United States on the internet for years and years and years? Nah. You know what? It's no different. It is what it is. Call a spade, buddy. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it. But, you have to accept that it's the oldest profession and it is what it is. But minors, that's a whole different story. When a school kid can't come home without worrying about a foreign black guy following her or chatting her up when he obviously should not even be talking to her, that's scary. Scary to the kids, scary to the parents, scary to everybody else. Enough said about that. We'll see how it plays out, and maybe I'll do a follow-up on it. So finally, the good. There is some good. What do you know? The good is congratulations to Philly in the Philippines. All right? 100,000 subscribers. Took him years and a lot of hard work. People don't realize that when you treat YouTube as a business, which we do not, but if you treat YouTube as a business, it's work. And he's put the work in. And I certainly congratulate him, and I'm sure that many others do. So in the meantime, if you enjoyed the video, hey, subscribe. If you're already a subscriber, great, thanks. And if you can do something else by hitting that thumbs up, we would certainly appreciate how it affects the algorithm. Otherwise, apparently, I'm on my way to Korean for lunch. And I don't know. I think we're meeting friends for margaritas at Tequila Reef this afternoon. So have a great day. Take care.